We're going to start with the breathing exercises to begin with. So the first one we're going to do is a full 360 breath. You're going to think about sending the air right down to your pelvic floor, a little bit in the stomach, and then a big expansion of the ribs, okay? I do suggest that you start off lying down on your back for this one. However, you can do it seated as long as your posture is good, and you can also do it on hands and knees. I'll ask you to try it and you can see what you think. So you're going to take a big breath in, relax everything as you breathe in. So relax the pelvic floor, relax the belly, relax the chest, big breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to gently pull up the pelvic floor, squeeze the lower abs, squeeze the mid abs, upper abs, breathe all the way out. Breathe in and relax. So as you breathe in, you should feel your belly and your chest push out. Relax pelvic floor, and then as we breathe out, we should feel it push in. Okay, so one more round. And what I want you to think about is in that order. So you breathe in, everything relaxes. The air goes down to the pelvic floor. First, lower abs, little bit in the belly, big push out of the ribs. And then as you breathe out, I really want you to imagine tightening of the pelvic floor, pulling and squeezing the abs in together, and you finish the breath all the way out. Okay, so from the sides, chest is up, back, shoulders are back. And exhale. Finish the breath. I'll show you from a lying position also. You might find that you have more engagement from this lying position. Okay, so it's exactly the same. You make sure that your back is nice and flat to the mat, breathing in. Relax everything, breathe out. Big expansion of the chest, engage, breathe in, exhale. So, if you're practicing that and giving it a go, I'd like to just see that your chest is really expanding when you're taking the inhale. And then I want you to really, really imagine squeezing those abs together. Okay, so a lot of this is brain and core connection. So really, really think about what you're doing. So nice big breath in. Everything relaxes. Ribs come out. As we exhale, we gently pull up the pelvic floor. We squeeze lower abs, mid abs, upper abs. Breathe all the way out. Squeeze. And relax, breathe in. Okay, so just have a go at a couple of those on your own. Colette, how is that feeling?
I mean, I don't really think I'm doing it properly because I don't feel any, I'm just like breathing, which is nice, but I don't really feel.
Okay, so to begin with the core still being a little bit weak, you might not feel a lot of engagement, and it does take practice to really home in on this breathing technique. So don't worry about that just yet. We will be doing this and you will be doing this every single day, okay? So a lot of it is just practice, and it's really making that brain and core connection and just repeating and repeating. So the main thing is that I want you to think about really relaxing the pelvic floor as you're breathing in, sending the air down to the pelvic floor, the belly, and a big expansion of the ribs. And then as you exhale, you gently pull up the pelvic floor. Just keep imagining the abs pulling together as you breathe all the way out. As long as you can feel everything coming in and out, you know that you're doing it right. And as the core gets a little bit stronger, you will feel a little bit more engagement. Okay.
When you're saying pull the pelvic floor, like what do you actually mean by that exactly?
Say again, sorry, Colette.
Like with the pelvic floor, what do you mean by that? Like,
okay, so until you think about the pelvic floor, so imagine if you were, I know this is not a nice example, but if you were on the toilet and you were mid-pee and you hold it, that is you pulling up the pelvic floor when you're exhaling, okay?
When you're exhaling.
Yeah, so when you inhale, everything relaxes, and without realizing it, you might actually be holding the pelvic floor more than you realize throughout the day, which can actually cause core issues. So this breathing really gets the core to sync and work together. So once you become aware of the pelvic floor, when you breathe in, just make sure it's relaxed, the stomach's relaxed, and then when you exhale, gently draw it up and squeeze in the core. Okay. So just have another go, just literally 2 more breaths, and then I'm going to move on to a couple of stretches. Katie and Henrique, are you okay? I know you're feeding, but any questions so far with that?
No, all good with that. I just didn't realise it was when you breathe out, you like hold the pelvic floor. Does it matter if you're doing it the other way around?
It does, yeah. So when you breathe in, everything needs to relax. When you breathe out, everything is engaged, including the pelvic floor is drawn up.
Okay, so you should always do it that way round, not the other.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Right, we're going to move on to a little bit of floor work, ladies, and I want you to still incorporate that breathing technique into these exercises. So this is going to be very slow, very controlled. We're going to start lying on the back. Now, I want everybody to just make sure they're doing this safely. So we're going to go from a side position and then gently rolling onto your back. Glute bridges, I'm sure you've done before, but we're just going to incorporate that breathing technique now. So in this position, making sure feet or heels are underneath knees. The whole time before we start, we make sure the back is pushed into the mat. So I don't want any arching, just gently tilt the pelvis back. We're going to breathe in here. So this is where we do our big inhale. Chest. We make sure that the back's tucked in nicely to the mat. We're going to drive through the heels, and as we push up, we're going to exhale. Finishing the breath. Inhale. Engage. Inhale. Engage. So it's nice and slow, nice and controlled. Inhaling at the bottom, we make sure the pelvis is tipped back and the back is nice and flat before we drive off the floor. We gently push through the heels as we breathe out, squeezing the glutes. So you're just coming up as far as you feel comfortable. Exhale all the way out, breathing in and relax again. Big push out of the ribs. Make sure the pelvis is tilted back, drive up. Okay, I'm just going to have a little look. Good, Colette. Yep, so you're tilting the pelvis back before you lift off. Perfect. And then come down to the floor, big breath in. So I'm going to look now if the ribs come up. I want ribs to go out. Yes, perfect. Good. Rock the pelvis back. Good. Drive through the heels. Squeeze in the bottom. Breathe in all the way out. Good. Finish the breath and then relax back down to the floor. Just go a couple more. That's good, Colette. Good, big breath in. Tilt the pelvis, good. Little squeeze of the bum, breathing all the way out. So still making that connection between the brain and the muscles. So I still want you to think about the same pattern with the breathing. So relaxing everything at the bottom. And then as you tilt the pelvis and engage, drive up, and still in your head, thinking about pelvic floor, thinking about core. Finish the breath, so breathing all the way out. Good. And then rest there. Good, feel okay, Colette? Nice, okay. I want you to roll back onto your side nice and safely, and then come over to hands and knees. Okay, so when we're in this position, I just want you to make sure that hands come underneath shoulders and knees are coming underneath hips. So we're in our nice 4-point position. Starting position, once we're here, we're going to take our breath in. So this is our relaxed position. So we relax the belly. Breathe in. We then tuck the bum under. So just like you did with your glute bridges, we make sure that the lower back's nice and flat. We engage and breathe out. And as we do that, we're just going to lift one knee to the side, keeping the back nice and still. Breathing out, breathe in and relax. Finish the breath, drawing the belly button up to the spine. And again, I'll just show you from this position. So same again. So you're leading with the knee, and you're only coming up as high as you can with the knee without the lower back tilting. So I want the back to be nice and solid. Breathe in. Finish the breath. Belly button is drawn up to the spine. Breathe in and relax everything so the belly drops. And I just want you to think neutral spine. So your gaze is just slightly out in front. So we've got a nice neutral spine. How are we getting on there, Colette? You doing okay? Good. Okay, I want you to slow it down a little bit more and don't go up as high with the knee. I don't want you to do any rocking, okay? So even if you only come to here, that's absolutely fine, as long as that lower back is solid and it's not tilting. Good, that's it. And then breathing in there, so relax the belly, big breath in, big back expansion. And then pull the belly button up to the spine as you're breathing out. Keep the core nice and tight. Good. Leading with the knee. Keep breathing out, 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 out. And then knee down. Good. Just go for a couple on the opposite side now, Colette. So exactly the same. Just on the opposite side. Good. Good. So relaxing the core, big breath in. Much better, that's good, much better control. So it's nice and slow, nice and controlled, and the core is keeping the back nice and strong there. Good, drawing the belly button up. Finish the breath, breathing all the way out, and just relax after this one. Good, feel okay, Colette? Excellent, good stuff. Okay, so it's nice and slow, it's nice and controlled. And I do always say, I know you might sound silly, but the louder you can breathe out, the more the core engages. So when you do a big powerful exhale, the core does engage more. So really want the exhale to be powerful and finish the breath all the way to the end. Okay, so we're going to stay in the same position. And we're just going to go for a little cat-cow. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. The gaze is slightly out in front for a neutral spine. We're going to start with our breath in. And we're just going to drop the lower back as far as you feel comfortable. And then as we exhale, we draw the belly button in, we round the upper back, and we tuck the chin to the chest. Okay, so big breath in. Finish the breath. So again, nice and slow. Big breath in, just a tiny dip of the back or as much as you feel comfortable. And then as you exhale, draw the belly button into the spine, rounding the upper back. So a nice stretch through the spine and tuck in the chin. Finish the breath there. So breathing all the way out. Really good, Colette. Really good. Nice breath in. Good. So you're still focusing on the core. We're still thinking about the core engagement. And we're just giving the back a little bit of a stretch and a massage at the same time. Good, just a couple more rounds. Nice big breath in. Good. And then pull the belly button in, finish the breath all the way out. Squeeze it in. Lovely, and just one more, Colette, that's really good. Sit, nice big breath in. Perfect. And then just relax after that one. Feel okay, Colette? Good work, good work. Okay, so we're going to move on to a little hip flexor stretch. This is a really, really good stretch, especially for any mums that have had a C-section. So again, just nice and gently take it to where you feel comfortable. We're going to start with one knee on the floor, taking the opposite knee through. You're just going to tuck your hips underneath until you feel a little bit of a stretch in the hip flexor. And then we're taking the opposite knee forward, just so that we can feel more of a stretch in the hip flexor there. Okay. Good. So just tuck hips underneath. So tilt the pelvis, drive the knee forward. Good. And then if you want to hold it here, you can do. If you want more of a stretch, you take the arm up of the knee that's on the floor and gently lean over to the side. So it just adds a bit more of a stretch down the obliques and the hip flexor. And just a couple of seconds here. If it gets too much, you can just bring the arm back down. And then slowly come out of the stretch. Doing exactly the same on the opposite side. So opposite knee goes forward. We just tilt the pelvis underneath until we feel the stretch in the hip flexor. Good. And then drive the knee forward slightly for a bit more of a stretch. And once you feel it in the hip flexor, if you're happy, stay there. If not, take the arm up and gently lean over to the side. So the breathing here is minimal. You should feel just a slight engagement in the core the whole time. And then slowly coming out of that. Good. So again, a really, really nice one there for any mums that have had a C-section, it just gives a nice stretch through the hip flexors. Okay, we're coming into child's pose. So there's two options here. You might find this one the most comfortable. So toes come together, knees are apart, and we just pop down through the gap. So here's your first one. So just stretching through the back. Or if you feel comfortable, you can do knees together, so from hands and knees, and just sit back onto it, whatever's most comfortable for you. And just stretch through the back, couple of breaths here. And then slowly coming up out of that. Okay, we're going to do one more stretch for the chest. So Colette, I want you to lie on your side first and then roll onto your back. Okay, and from this position, I want you to take knees are bent. I want the back of your hands and your elbows to be on the floor. Okay, so you want heels on the floor, lower back stays glued to the mat. So remember, we don't arch it, we keep it nice and flat to the mat. Back of the hands and elbows stay on the floor. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to slowly slide the elbows and the hands above the head without the lower back coming off the mat. Breathing out. And back down to the start position. Okay, so in full, it looks like this. Breathe in, engage, breathe out. Finish the breath, breathe in, and engage, breathe out. So as you're moving the arms and exhaling, your lower back is pushing into that mat. Your elbows and hands stay glued to the mat. If they start to creep off or your back creeps off, you've reached the end of your range of motion and you need to come back down again. Okay, so you're still practicing the full breaths. So breathing all the way in. Big expansion of the ribs. And then making sure the pelvis tilts so your lower back's pushed into the mat. Exhale and engage as you're moving the arms up and back down again. So really finish that breath. Good. Nice, that's good. The breathing's good there. So you go into abdomen and the chest. And then pushing the back into the mat as you exhale. So this is a really nice stretch of the chest as well. So as well as working the core with the breathing, we're just opening out the chest and just stretching. If we think about posture with babies and healing from birth, etc., we're quite rounded. So it's a really nice chest opener. Good, just a couple more rounds. Good, Colette. And one more there. So big inhale in, belly more in the chest. That's it, good. And then tilt the pelvis back, push the back into the mat, exhale. Good. Finish the breath. And relax there. Okay, stay in that position, Colette. I want you to go straight back into some glute bridges. So the first exercise that we did. So heels underneath knees, breathing in, chest, tilt the pelvis, push the back into the mat, squeeze the bum, squeeze the core, breathe all the way out, in and relax. Good, so remembering to make that mind and core connection. So I just want you thinking about when you inhale, relax pelvic floor, relax the belly. And then when you're ready to exhale and engage, we think about the core unit and we think about the glute muscles. So the muscles that you're using. Good. Finish the breath. So you breathe all the way out, 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 out. Slowly come down as you're breathing out. Good. Good. And then breathing in there. So let's see ribs, big flare of the ribs. Perfect. Good. And then tilt the pelvis. Nice. Yeah. Good. Pushing through the heels, squeezing the bum. Good. Breathing all the way out. And just one more there. Same again with the ribs. Good. Tilt. Excellent. And then finish the breath. Good, Colette. Okay, so you're going to roll onto your side and we're going to go back onto hands and knees for the hydrants. So remember in our position, hands come under shoulders, knees come under hips. We're going to breathe in, relax the belly, so the belly drops. The gaze is slightly out in front. Then we tuck and draw the belly button in. Finish the breath. So the knee leads and the back stays nice and strong. Finish the breath, relax, breathe in. Good. Perfect. Good, Katie. Yeah, good. Nice and controlled. Really good, ladies. So relax the belly. Okay, so I'm just looking that back is staying nice and still. There's no tilting and no rocking. So if you only need to bring the knee up a tiny bit, just bring it up a tiny bit. It's okay. The main thing about this is that we're engaging the core. So take the gaze slightly out in front. Just keep the spine nice and neutral. Perfect, Katie. That's it. And then Colette, if you change sides. Good, so just checking that we're not leaning to one side. We're just tilting, we're just lifting that knee. So big belly drop as you breathe in. Good, I can see the bellies there. That's really good, ladies. Pulling the belly button in nice and tight as you exhale. Finish the breath. Remember, nice and powerful. Good work, ladies. Just a couple more, and then we'll just do one more to finish. Okay, staying in that position then, ladies, we're going to go back into the cat-cow. So just double check that knees are under hips, hands are under shoulders, and then we're going to take our breath in, gently relaxing the lower back. Only take the dip as far as you feel comfortable, and then as you exhale, we're going to draw the belly button in, draw the chin in, and just gently rounding the upper back. Finish the breath, and then breathe in and relax. So really pull that belly button in towards the spine. Finish the breath. Remember, a nice, powerful breath. And you're just taking the movement with the spine as far as you feel comfortable. So just a little dip in the lower spine and a little arch or rounding in the upper back. So just stretching and massaging. Good. Okay, ladies, and then from there, just take it into your child's pose. So either toes together and knees apart, hands come out, so we can just sit back and relax. Couple of breaths here. Or you can bring knees together and sit back on your heels, whichever's most comfortable for you. And then nice and slowly just come back up to seated. Good, ladies.